Welcome back to episode 2 of Space Beast Terror Fright, my Let's Play of this amazing, incredible, intense, challenging, impossible, frustrating, horrible, pants-pissing, PTSD-inducing game by Nornware. So, if you watched the first episode and got through it and are back here, thank you. I appreciate the patience as I try to fumble my way through this game and the narration simultaneously. I spent a lot of the first episode just kind of describing, kind of what the game's all about, why I like it. What I'd like to do for this episode is to try to focus a little more on actually playing, pausing to kind of describe the strategy that I'm trying to use. Not that it's necessarily a good strategy, but it'll at least show you that the game is a lot more than just kind of randomly turning corridors and shooting things and hoping you make it back. There are very few gameplay elements in it, like I said, and yet you have to use them all and your brain in a lot of kind of complex ways in order to have any hope of finishing a level, let alone multiple levels. So before I begin, there's one thing I probably forgot to emphasize in the first video among the major gameplay mechanics, which is that it's always one hit and you're dead. The aliens, as far as I can tell, it's always the same type of alien. They just rush towards you if they see you. As long as you have ammo in your gun and can face towards them and they're only coming from one direction, you can pretty much mow them down. But if even one gets through and taps you, your face gets eaten off in a horrible death scene. And there's no armor, there's no HP upgrades, there's nothing. So even if you're advanced into the game with all kinds of neat hacking upgrades and your map is all pimped out, you're still dead if you make one mistake and let an alien, flank you or get up on you or you run out of ammo and can't beat it. That's where a lot of the difficulty and the tension comes from. Alright, that said, we're back here at the beginning, brand new level, getting out of our escape shuttle. Alright, I've got 10 data cores to find, got one right here, which is pretty good. I can download it right away, leaving us 9 to get. Now, you'll notice right now the map, the little circle at the bottom, just started showing grids because I got a map. Oh! Alright, we've already got a breach. It's red in front of us. Fortunately, I have a turret right here. I can get the turret online, and I'll get a little closer here and show you what a. All right. So this thing here, where you see the cables hanging down, that's a breach, and that is, as far as I know, just gonna spawn aliens in. And, Alright, well, there was probably a breach behind me as well. Normally there's only like 2 of them in the beginning of the game, and the chances that, they both be kind of right there were pretty low. But also I'm terrible at the game, so I probably just, wasn't looking carefully enough. Anyhow. Watch the bottom left hand of the screen, because I okay, so we got 18 data cores. I got a whole bunch of them here, right here in this first room, and I'm going to gobble them up. See bottom left of the screen? Breach detected. There's one breach. There's a second breach. We got 2 breaches somewhere on the ship. I'm going to explain what the hell that was. There's a third breach. I don't know if there's going to be any more right away. That may actually be all there are for the entire level. But there are 3 breaches somewhere on the ship. All of them are just going to be infinitely spawning aliens. And the trick of the game is to go and get these 18, now 16 data cores, which we're going to have to do by exploring and walking into a lot of dark hallways, while trying to either avoid these breaches, or when we can avoid them, approach them in ways where we're not going to do what happened to me last turn and get surrounded, stabbed in the head by an alien. And a lot of the way to do that I like to do, is rather than just kind of want... You can, like I said, right above my map, there's a little thing that tells me where the nearest data core is. And you can't just kind of follow that number and bounce from one data core to the other. I haven't had a lot of luck doing that. What I like to try to do is secure areas of the spaceship. And this is our shuttle. If you look at the little map compass, you see that's in the 0 direction, which I just think of as north. So we are moving south. Before we move south, I want to make sure the north end of this ship is all done with. That we've got all the data terminals we need from it. We've got all the sentries that we need to online, so that I can go explore other areas of the ship, knowing that A, I don't need to go north again until I'm ready to go home, to go back to my shuttle. And B, because we're going to try to activate as many sentries in the north as we can, that hopefully we're not going to have to deal with 18,000 aliens in 20,000 different directions when we come back here. Because the sentries will be online and they'll be shooting them for us. Now, there's always more sentries in this game than you probably have time to activate. If you just sit there stopping for every sentry and activate them, all you're going to be doing is the aliens are going to be spawning constantly and getting the drop on you. So you need to be a little bit selective. Which one to go for. And already... See, already, this whole room here is pretty much been overrun. And I know we have to go in there. I can see there's a data core right there that we're going to need. So... I'm dead. That's it, I'm dead. It's going to happen a lot. If you're watching this game, I'm hoping it's because it's entertaining to see an idiot flail around when he's trying to explain it a game he doesn't know how to play very well. And also to just try to introduce you to the game and get you playing yourself, where, you know, smarter people than me can go farther than I am. That said, we're going to apply the same principles I just explained. It's going to be a totally new level, new random layout and all that. But here we can see our airlock shuttle is at 90, which I call the east, north, east, south, west. So we are going to be heading west, trying to remember that our airlock shuttle is in the east, because it's going to matter when we have to run back to it. I'm going to activate this turret and open this door. So this turret is going to cover the north and the south. Aliens come in here, want to try to, you know, crowd the place and overrun the place. They're going to get mowed down by turrets. I'm going to activate the second turret just for extra firepower, because the turrets do run out of ammo. I want to make sure that this shuttle area is as safe as I can make it, because I know for sure I'm going to have to come back here at the end of the level, assuming I get that far. So I might as well activate these turrets, open doors so they can shoot at things. I'm not going to bother with this one because this one's already online. Alright. Now that looks secure enough. So let's do the orientation again. This is the east. So here in the north, there's probably data cores through these doors. I'm going to have to deal with them eventually, but for right now, I'm going to leave that knowing there's a good turret defense up in the north, and I'm going to move south towards the 180, because I see a terminal there already. You can see in the bottom left there's doors getting compromised all over. Every door has a number, every terminal and turret has a number, and the numbers kind of go sequentially, sort of, like if you hit door 398 and then you hit door 463, and I don't know, that door down there is probably like 500 or something. So it's kind of a little navigational aid before you have your map, but not really a very great one. Like everything in this game, all your info is going to be pretty much compromised. But we are generally heading in the westish. We're heading in the westish direction. Sorry, the southish. We're heading south as far as we can. Just trying to get all the data cores that we can in the south. We're trying to clear the far end of the ship. This is not the far end of the ship, so I'm going to seal it up for later. And we're always going to be try to move south and just get in, get out, and then be done with the south end of the ship, so that we can kind of start moving our way back towards the entryway and back towards the safety of our exit. Alright, so we got aliens here. I got this turret online. We'll take care of them. Jesus. Oh my god. That's a lot of them. That's a lot. That... fuck's sake. Alright. Alright, how am I going to deal with this? What I'm going to do is I'm going to slip in here really quick, shut this door, let the turret deal with those. Oh my god, there's more. I'm dead. That's really all it takes to die, is to just let an area get overrun and approach it in a stupid way. Now the levels are entirely random, so as far as I mean, it's quite possible that, you know, the map is just kind of screwing us on some of these. That said, my gameplay leaves a lot to be desired, as you can probably tell. Quite often, you know... oh my god, that was close. Okay, that's a breach right there. See the cables? I heard the sound, it was very close. That's a breach. Fortunately, we have a turret up right over it, so that breach isn't going to be a problem for a while, until that turret runs out of ammo. But that turret is going to run out of ammo. It's definitely going to run out of ammo by the time I find 17 data cores and get back here. So we're going to have problems at the end game, because we're going to need to run back here, and we're going to have a breach right beside there, and as far as I know, that breach is just going to keep spitting out aliens forever. But we'll deal with that when we, if and when we get to it. More than likely, I'll just die again before I get there. I'm going to snap up a few of these easy data cores for the buffs. And maybe I should start talking a little more about the buffs, because I haven't really so far. See which buff, if any, I get from this one. Alright, so that buff added floors, little grids to my map, which if you noticed before I got those grids wasn't even a map, it was just basically a compass. So now I can kind of at least get, you know, a general little grid of the area around me to help me kind of orient myself. Now, the shuttle's back towards the north. We are heading kind of south, and now being forced to turn east. I try to always kind of sound out, at least mentally, which direction I'm going in, because it really does help. You don't want to be just totally lost and swarmed with aliens. And, like I said, there's sort of an end sequence where there's a self-destruct thing, and you have to get back to the shuttle really quickly. So I am, I think this is probably the south edge of the ship, and I'm kind of being forced to just go along the perimeter of it towards the east, which is fine. Oh, no. Which is okay with me. What I'd like to do is kind of get done with the south end of the ship, get all the data cores that I need out of it, and then if there's a breach in there, just get the hell out of there and not have to deal with that breach again for the rest of the level. So we're going to go in this door in a second and see what's in there. Alright, so this is a buff. This is one of the more useful buffs. It's called Infravision. I'm going to activate this terminal really quickly just for extra security. Because if, you know, a breach pops up in here when we go in there, and there's no turrets to deal with it, then we're going to have a lot of fighting to do to get back out, which is never good. Anyway, I pointed out top right, that little thing that has a 90 under it is a battery, and it's constantly going down, you see. 75, 74. That's just my flashlight taking it down. I also have infravision, which is extremely useful because aliens pop up on it, turrets, data cores, they all show up bright red. And if you've noticed, this game's very dark. And even when I fire, I can kind of see. Oh my god. Okay, that was a breach. Oh, that's lucky. A breach just popped up right there in the southmost extremity of the ship. Fortunately, we're done. We can get the fuck out of there. We have turrets online, so that breach I don't really care about. It's when those aliens bust through the door, they're just going to get mowed down by turrets. And I have pretty much all the data cores in the south end that I need. So I'm going to kind of keep slowly moving in a zigzag position northward, shutting doors behind me once I'm done with the south areas. And that breach will not be a problem for me, fortunately. Alright, so we are heading towards the west. Another turret I can get online. This is a really good turret because it covers a very long hallway, as well as this north pointing hallway. Anyway, the infravision is good, but if you notice, when I turn it on, it speeds up our battery drain even more than it was before. So you can't use it forever. You can't rely on anything forever in this game. The only thing that's forever is the aliens. So I'm going to continue to just kind of zigzag my way. This may not be the smartest thing to do. I'm still figuring out the strategy. I'm just slowly zigzagging my way north, collecting all the data cores, turning on the turrets, so that I am not forced to kind of backtrack into an area after it's been overrun by aliens. Which seems a smart thing to do. Alright, we got one in here. I'm gonna shut these doors. I don't know where there's motion coming. I'm gonna shut that door behind me so I don't get overrun. Data core in here. Alright. Now we have a motion tracker. We got a buff that shows little blips on the map. That's all motion. Which, oh my god, Alright. I'm gonna hope that the south is just done with, because it's overrun at this point. I'm gonna shut that up. I'm gonna hope that whatever other on? I thought this guy was turned on. Yeah, that's not good. Alright. We go through here. This is really not great. Okay. To do really quickly. Oh my god. That's it. Dead. We got about half the data cores that we needed that game, but it wasn't enough. Data cores downloaded 9. I think what were there, 18 total? Not good, but you know, better than the first match. So I'm gonna try one more. Hopefully be a little more methodical about it. And before I do that, you can see here all the upgrades we got. So all these upgrades came from downloading data cores. Each time you download a data core, you get experience. When your experience hits certain benchmarks, you get a random buff. So this first one upgraded my ammo from 500 to 1,000 rounds, which is really good, because 500 bullets isn't much in this game. The second one knocked my battery life up to 90 seconds. Then we got the battery charge rate was increased, so every second I spent at a terminal, like downloading, downloading a terminal give me 5 more seconds of battery life. We got the motion tracker, the short-range motion tracker, which put those little blips on our map down there so we could see things. We got a door upgrade to our map so we could see doors on the map, which is pretty useless. We got infravision. 25% means that it was... Do you see how we pretty much couldn't see anything in infravision except bright redness? So once you get 50%, you can see like a little... It gets clearer. And we got auto-targeting, and to be honest, I don't entirely know what auto-targeting is. I think it basically just kind of, if you're not aiming exactly at an alien, the bullet still hits it. And you probably noticed in this game, when you're firing, you can't see anything, and that's intentional. It's not a game where you sit there and snipe the aliens. It's a game where you just shut your eyes and squeeze the trigger and try not to pee and hope that they're all dead by the time you stop pulling the trigger. Actually, it's probably smarter to fire in short bursts, but don't really do that. Our outcome was failure, obviously. We downloaded 9 data cores. We activated 7 turrets, or sentries. We killed 25 aliens. It took us 7 minutes to fail. And coolant's disabled is an N level thing that I kind of keep hinting at, hoping that we can actually show it at some point, so I don't need to just explain it. I'm sorry for talking so much. Let's just do one more round here and see how it goes. Alright, open the door. Shuttle's in the east, so we are heading west. We have 15 data cores, and 1 is here right now, immediately. I don't like... This is an awkward-looking hallway with not a lot of doors in it. It's going to be hard to secure this. So if we get lucky and are able to evacuate the ship... it's a big wide open space. Alright, and we already have a breach, like right there. Right, I'm gonna at least shut this thing off. I'm gonna snag this thing. And we're gonna try to see if we can activate a turret or something around this breach and get it taken care of before it gets out of control. One thing I found in the game is if you see a breach, try if possible to secure it. Like this turret right here is great. We can put this turret down here, it's going to mow down these aliens as they spawn out of the breach one by one. And so we're not going to have 80,000 aliens to deal with, we're going to have one at a time and they're all going to be dead until that turret runs out of ammo, which is always the problem. Alright, so I'm going to continue proceeding kind of down this big hallway here, collecting data cores, and trying to just find other turrets to secure it with, essentially. That's my main worry at this point is we need to secure this big hallway with no doors in it with turrets. Alright, this thing here looks different from the other walls. It's the data core. And I may as well just explain this now as I pass it. Once we get all of our data cores, 11 more to go, we're going to have to return to this thing. We're going to have to go through this kind of procedure where we basically sabotage it and cause it to start self-destructing. Then, we're going to have to run back to our shuttle in about 1.5 minutes before it self-destructs and blows us up. So we got lucky with the placement of the decor in this level because it's very close to our shuttle entry point. So assuming we get far enough to actually make it back there and sabotage that thing, we should have a pretty short, easy run to our shuttle. The downside is that there is a breach zone right in that room, and that one turret well, there's a few turrets we've activated around, but they're not going to hold off forever, so you need to be kind of quick. And, oh my god, that was very close. The Sounded like a breach that was very, very close. Okay. And 3 more right here. 1, 2, 3, which is good. Pretty happy about that. So, we're trying to be quick here. We're ideally trying to get back to that core, get all our data cores before the sentries in the beginning area run out, and that just starts to fill up with aliens. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. So at the moment, I'm just sort of following these numbers at the top of my map that tell me where the nearest data core is. I've kind of secured the beginning area as much as I care to. I only have 7 more data cores to go. If I get lucky... Okay, that's very close. Oh my god! It was right above me. And we're dead again. Alright, Space Beast Terror Fright. I'll be back next time, hopefully with a little more skill and luck. But hopefully you're getting a feel of the game, and, you know, as always, just go play it yourself. You're going to have more fun playing it than you are going to watch me fumble around at it, but I will be back to fumble around at it later. Thanks for watching.